Welcome everybody to Swtor Gaming, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the original script. I guess one of the versions of the script leaks of Colin Trevorrow's version of episode 9 called Duel of the Fates. Greetings, citizens of the galaxy. Welcome to Swtor Gaming.
Welcome. I believe the Force has guided you to me.
Who we truly are is defined by our actions.
The iron grip of the First Order has spread to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Only a few scattered planets remain unoccupied. Traitors' acts are punishable by death. Determined to suffocate the growing unrest, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren has silenced all communication between neighboring systems. Led by General Leia Organa, the Resistance has planned a secret mission to prevent their annihilation and forge a path to freedom. Opens at Kuat shipyards, man on a mission style. BB-8 and Rose Tico, allegedly a key character in the script, are infiltrating Kuat Moon, where First Order build their ship. Workers are oppressed. There's an orbital ring and a moon below it, as you've probably seen in Swtor, the flashpoint to Kuat shipyards, which actually reading this also makes me want to go back and play it. Maybe I'll get some, if I have some gameplay, I'll just put it through this. No R2-D2 C-3PO, Rey arrives. The plan. Setting explosives into the power shaft delivers raw ore into the ring. Plan goes wrong. If the First Order is able to contain the blast, Admiral Vaughn says the resistant tactics are pitiful. Rey, disguised as a Tusken Raider, is revealed to have created her own weapon, a double-bladed lightsaber hybrid of her staff, and Luke's cracked saber. They battle, and Poe, Finn, and Rose, Rey, steal, and BB-8 steal a Star Destroyer, Eclipse class, and escape. The Knife 9, a ship containing the Knights of Ren, arrives at Kuat. Atsaka Ren kills Admiral Vaughn for his failure. Cut to Coruscant, no longer a vibrant city. The new structures are built on top of Art Deco's and structures of the Old Republic. Occupied by the First Order now, they have a Citadel Palace there. Citizens are scavengers now. Hux is now Chancellor Hux and is addressing Biskova, the traitor who helped Resistance steal the Star Destroyer. Biskova is executed with a light blade guillotine. Next thing, Hux and Commander Selleck have a meeting with several alien warlords. Ode to A New Hope Imperial Council scene. First Order has allies. They are aware of Rey being the last Jedi. Council wants to know where is Kylo Ren. He is missing. Hux only knows he has gone searching for something of great power. Cut to Mustafar. Kylo Ren is alone except for a Darth Maul-esque droid. He has stubble indicating he's been searching for a long time. Ren is being haunted by Luke's ghost. Luke, this is where the path leads, an empty tomb. Kylo retort, where did your path lead? Luke is trying to convince him to go back to Leia. Kylo, I'm going to be more powerful than any Jedi, even you. In Vader's temple, Kylo finds a Sith holocron which reveals a hologram of Palpatine. Recordings for Vader. Palpatine has a contingency for Vader if Luke kills him. Vader's to take Luke to the Remicor system to see Tor Valum, Master of Sith Palpatine's teacher. After scanning Kylo, the holocron explodes and releases red lightning which burns Kylo, who screams. Cut to Resistance base on Kor Alef. She feels what is happening to Ben. Chewbacca and Lieutenant Connix tells Leia that the Kuat team is back. They're shocked to see a Star Destroyer which has landed onto the planet. Funny moment with Rey using mind trick on the First Order officers who are still on the ship. This is actually something that we see something similar happen in The Rise of Skywalker when they board the ship and we see Rey use the mind tricks. At least they kept that in. Rey confides in Finn that she doesn't feel like she has what it takes to be a Jedi and she can't live up to everyone's expectations. This is something also that they kept in The Rise of Skywalker, and something that we see in the novel, the prelude to The Rise of Skywalker. The Resistance Finn asks her if she senses Kylo. Rey confesses she's been having nightmares. Finn asks if it's Kylo. Rey says he can't explain their connection. Finn goes, "You have to shut him out. He can't change, it's too late." Rey says, "It's never too late to change. You taught me that, Finn." That's my terrible Rey impression, by the way. Resistance realizes that the Star Destroyer still has most of its weapons, tanks, TIE, etc. Only missing piece is its army to use it. Rey, researching the Jedi text from Octo, discovered there's under Coruscant Jedi Temple there's a communication system called the Force Beacon from the Old Republic that can send signals to 50 planets. They plan on using it to get allies. The First Order can't stop it since it predates Imperial tech. Rey, hope is all we have left. Force Ghost Luke appears to Rey. It appears as Rey changes. Rey trains. Luke is pushing Rey to get stronger in the Force while he's pushing Kylo to let Ben out. Kylo makes it back to Coruscant. His face is damaged. Mandalorian armor is smelted and applied to his face. Kylo confronts Hux and belittles him, saying he doesn't need titles. Rey to Luke as they train. Balance. The dark suffocates the light. Well, Rey says to Luke as they train, "Balance. The dark suffocates the light. Light extinguishes the dark. Over and over again. How is that balance in the Force?" Luke says, "I know that anger. My father had it too." And Rey says, "So says my master and his master before him. 1,000 masters eager to tell us how to live." The rest of the exchange between Rey and Luke is basically Rey trying to back away from being a Jedi. She admits she is no one, and Luke is trying to convince her that he says the Force is speaking to her. Back to Kylo. He and Hux continue to snipe at each other. Kylo says he's leaving again, but not before telling Hux the power he will discover to make destroying planets insignificant. Which is great because this harkens back to A New Hope. So that harkens back to that moment, which is great. This actually ties in. Kylo says he's leaving again, but not before telling Hux the power that he discovered will make destroying planets insignificant. Kylo's last order to Hux: find the Resistance, wipe them out, leave the girl to me. Team A, Rose, Finn, R2, and 3PO going to Coruscant to light the beacon. Team B, Rey, Poe, and Chewbacca are going to a planet to find someone to help Rey figure out what she needs to do. Side, yes, this is a description, it's that vague. Kylo's going to Sith planet Remicor. Before he leaves Coruscant, he takes Vader's mask and says he understands Vader now. Kylo, you allowed your love to cloud your judgment. And he throws Vader's mask off a balcony and it shatters. Leia stays at the base overseeing the Resistance. Before Rey leaves, she and Leia have an exchange where Rey says, "I believe there's still good in Kylo." Leia is skeptical, but Rey believes in her Jedi training. Leia, "Not like my father or my brother, you're new." I don't know, I can't do her voice. "Whatever happens, remember the Force chose you, Rey. Your story isn't written by anyone else." The First Order tracks down Solo and Star Destroyer to Kor Alaf. Resistance escapes. Team A successfully infiltrates the Jedi Temple and then turns on the beacon. Cut to different places around the galaxy receiving the signal. There's a cameo by Bosk. It's then cut off by the First Order. Team A then flees into the underbelly of Coruscant. Team B are being pursued by the Knife 9, the Knights of Ren ship, and eventually reach the planet Bonaden. Kylo reaches Remicor and confronts Tor Valum, 7,000 years old, alien of unknown origin. Spindly, intense, sinewy muscle, very Lovecraftian. Kylo begins training with Valum. Go to Empire Strike Back cave scene. Kylo fights Vader. Fight is brutal and Kylo loses. Bonding. Poe takes Rey to a seer who can pull the information out of memories. The seer pulls a star chart out of Rey's mind from her visions with Kylo. Knights of Ren show up and fight Rey in a lightsaber battle. She defeats them and Team B escapes. Both Rey and Kylo eventually get to Mortis. Leia asks Lando if he will organize the smugglers and fight the First Order. Rose is captured and tortured by the First Order, but she's able to escape. Finn, R2, 3PO start a citizens uprising on Coruscant around the First Order Citadel Palace. Leia brings the forces to Coruscant to battle the First Order. Massive space battle, ground battle, Return of the Jedi style, you know the works. Chewie flies an X-Wing, which would be cool to see. Rey and Kylo battle on Mortis using the Force energy that can pull from they can pull from each other. At some point, it's revealed that Kylo killed Rey's parents at the behest of Snoke. Towards the end, Luke, Obi-Wan, Yoda appears Force Ghost to save Ben. but are unsuccessful. Ben is extinguished. Pretty much summaries: Resistance 1 first order loses. One final detail: Han Solo did appear in the script and confronts Kylo at some point. And that's just a summary of it. I just want to give my thoughts. A lot of good stuff there, just as far as one draft. It would have been interesting if this is the movie that came out, because I myself would have been really into it. Now, I could see, for most people have been critical of Disney and possibly, especially the president of Disney, Bob Iger, probably putting in his thoughts because they're trying to make money. Everyone gets super excited in a good way and a bad way about direction Star Wars. You have to understand something. They can give us the best fan film, totally the fans, but we're going to be into it, but we're also a minority. There's so much casual fans. I can speak for myself. As the first time I watched The Rise of Skywalker, there were a lot of moments that were jarring to me, and I was like, what? And it didn't help because, like I said in my review, the pacing of the film was so quick that you didn't get a chance to digest it. So, like, you were caught, let's say something startled you, and movies are supposed to evoke some kind of emotion, right? So something startles you, and you don't have time to digest it, and then something else happens, so you're kind of left with all these unresolved emotions, and you're watching it, all unresolved feelings, so it's hard to properly enjoy. It's like, for example, I grew up watching wrestling, right? And you would have these matches, and you build up the tension, and then you basically build up emotion and take these fans on a ride, and then you'd have a slow match to let people give a chance to digest it. You wouldn't put another great match afterwards. Eventually, especially now that the WrestleManias are like 9 hours and stuff, eventually you get tired, right? So that's kind of what it was. It was like there's so much, and I was like, wait, I had a couple days and I saw it again, and I was able to enjoy it really well, Yes, I saw the certain things coming, and then I was able to enjoy it on a different level because I saw that my mother and my brother really enjoyed it, which made me even more happy, But I honestly like the stuff they had here. Now, for most people are having like a buyer's remorse, saying that this could have possibly happened, hold on for a second, because even though I'm pretty sure that Disney has copies of these scripts, and who's to say they cannot use some of this stuff later on? You know what I mean? So if you're liking what you read here, and there's feedback that people like this, who's to say that this doesn't show up? They're going to go in the unknown regions, and like as I said before, and if you guys watch Urban Blacklight, if you haven't, it's one of the dopest Star Wars channels. He pretty much predicted exactly how this saga was supposed to go. The guy could be a fortune teller for Star Wars. He knows good story, and doesn't get enough credit for the stuff he puts in. And I'm not just kissing his ass. It's true. We sat there and we talked about it, as far as the Force and how the Force works. His mind is really good with that. And we have great in-depth conversation when we had about it. But yeah, I kind of predicted this direction, especially with Project Luminous, which is in another video. I'm going to put my thoughts about Project Luminous and how this all turned out. But yeah, it makes sense. Like, we don't know the unknown regions. They're called the unknown regions. Well, what if we get a story that's going to be centered in the unknown regions? There's a lot of possible Sith temples over there. There's all new aliens. Who's to say we won't meet a Sith Lord, an ancient Sith Lord of this, like a Sith God of this origin or similar to what they had in mind here? Who's to say this story cannot be used to either tell something in the future or tell something in the past? We don't know. But my thoughts, I was like, this sounds really good. I think for hardcore Star Wars fans, this would have been more successful, as we would have liked it a lot more. But I'd have to say, I'm kind of skeptical of how this could have been pulled off for fans in general, like casual fans, because I'm not a casual fan. Like, we can all say, well, I'll love it, so they'll love it. That's not necessarily true. I would have liked this, see something like this develop, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, we have a movie. Skywalker Saga is done, and I'm glad it's over with, because now they can move in and do some real fun stuff. So for everyone who's hating Kathleen Kennedy, like the reports of the High Republic era, I'm excited. Reports of them going into the unknown regions, and you know why I knew about this, and I've been talking about this, because if you haven't read the books, the Thrawn trilogy, the canon Thrawn trilogy, And I love the guy who does, it's Matt Mikkelsen's brother, I think Lars Mikkelsen, who does the voice of Thrawn in Rebels and in the audiobooks. It talks about the unknown regions. Unknown regions also means possibly getting Chiss on screen, which we haven't gotten. We have, of course, they're in Rebels, you have Thrawn, but I'm talking about actually on screen in the movies, investigating that part of the galaxy. So to me, that's like a big deal, you know what I mean? Getting that kind of idea, different ideas and different philosophies on the Force cults, all kinds of things that they can do. And this whole idea of, like, I will go into Project Luminous, which, I mean, eventually, if you haven't seen it yet, Urban Acolyte does have a video on Project Luminous explaining more details. I will have my own thoughts that I record another video. It's a great idea, you know? So, I mean, tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below, like, seeing this. And I'll have to put a link. I got a link from Comic Book News, but there's also a link to Robert Meyer. I'll see if I should. Maybe I might or might not put a link to Robert Meyer Burnett's channel, because he's the one who got the script, and everyone's been reporting it, and the source of that comes from Robert Meyer Burnett. And he actually, on his channel, he shows in print the opening crawl. Being that he's been working in Hollywood for so long, I don't doubt that he has a version of it. You know, but tell me what you guys think, and, you know, until next video, may the Force you will further your destiny. Always.